Normally I'm ready to go, but with this change. Yeah, I have. Oh, we're going to live.
Yeah.
I guess we could do it after.
That's what I have.
This same time. As long as it's not.
You don't even have to back up.
It's just the camera, not the iPad. I'm
Yeah.
used to the iPad. I was gonna ask Megan what the president. Pardon. Est-ce que je t'avais demandé cette question, mais que peut faire le président avec la prononciation, avec OSNER ou OSNER? Non, la prononciation du club. OSNER. Avec le style français. OSNER. Parfait. Parce que tu ne sais pas, tu me comprends. C'est ma première fois.
Yeah, OSNER'S.
OSNER'S, c'est ça. Le lion. Ouais.
Yeah.
Le lion de New York.
Everything.
We know New York is in crisis.
So,
Welcome, ladies and
you don't mind
gentlemen,
if
to
I
Belson
just say
Stadium.
something?
The now announcing the starters.
Naturally.
Pick this up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, for
Yeah.
him to talk.
For the visiting New York Choppers, number 5, Jordan. Number 18, Bornstein. Number 8, Island.
Yeah.
Number 11, Leon. Number 17, Tebow. Number 2, McFarland. Number 15, Michelle. Number 23, Scarano. Number 12, Sams. Number 7, Okini. 00, Shannon. Substitutes, 99, Roos. 98, Henning. 26, Jeffrey. 55, Brandt.
I'm just gonna wait for my boss to answer me.
Yeah.
It was videoing.
Yeah. He's asking me.
It's okay.
Or commentate. Yeah.
Comments.
Yo.
It's personal.
Yes.
Yeah, my say something.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your home team Arsenals, number 12, Juan Ledesma. Number 27, Juan Catano. Number 6, Cleverson Valoria. Number 13, Miss Schneider Cherry. Number 8, Duhamel Mini. Number 90, Mamadou Diao. Number 70, Mardoche Pompey. Number 23, Santiago Hernandez. Number 21, Serge Anthony Lucien. Number 20, Silnick Pierre. Number 19, Justin Rodriguez. Substitutes, number 11, Giovanni Terras. Number 24, Khalid Daoud. Number 25, Sila Abdahak. And number 17, Samuel Jimenez. Head coach, Christian Chorizo. Assistant coach, Oswaldo Herrera, Pierre Joannis, and Carlos Ruiz. Let's go Lions. Can you please rise for the national anthem?
Look.
Just 4 days ago, OSNER'S Football Club and New York Shockers put on an instant North American but so the latter got twice. In stoppage time to deserve it's rare with its monthly fan base. It's team with a result like that. Right confidence, but the Shockers.
Sun is down, freezing cold. That's how we already know. When it's here, my dog will probably do it for Louisville. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else. I tried to show him. Yeah. I tried to show him. Yeah. Y'all know you with the pick and roll. Stick 'em all. Nathan's here when I'm in the boat. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose. Yeah, jump out for the Nike boys hopping our coast. Way too big, when we pull up, give me the load.
Vamos live lah.
Popping with the ground. Just be mixing spot like Jamba Joe. Sipping color chains, see my true little niggas selling fruits. And they choking, man, all the shit was no.
OSNER'S Football Club and New York Shockers face one another for the third time in this National Premier Soccer League season. Orange, trusting its back line with the ball first. Diop, with a long ball forward that's easily dealt with by the Shockers back line. Once more moving forward, and moving forward with taken by the local team. At the feet momentarily of Clemerson Dinoria. Backtrack. Video. Sammy Pompe. Occasionally, or I should say colloquially, known as Pompey, as he had told us. Lobbed forward. Backline of Shockers dealing with it well. It was headed away specifically by Alejandro Perez Jordan. As a free kick of OSNER'S. Will occur in the opposition's half from give or take 35 yards away from the goal, maybe a little bit farther than that, perhaps 37. As the set piece taker player, some Viloria wastes no time adjusting this ball. He encounters a one-shocker wall. The referee approving for this set piece. Viloria trying to place this one on target. Swerving wide, but not a million miles wide. The goalkeeper now with the goal kick. And in the meanwhile, we can also go over the full rosters for both teams. We already had some. We will see the likes of Ruth Apollon for New York Shockers alongside Owen Grant, Elias Ellen, Brian Henning, Daryl Jeffrey, Jackson Leon, Kyle McFarland, Marcello Mitchell, Yusuf Okine, Alejandro Perez Jordan, Anthony Rouge, Thomas Sams, Seth Scarano, Daniel Shannon, Kenning Tebo, and Birger Torsteinsen. Meanwhile, for OSNER'S Football Club, we'll feature the likes of Saila Abdelhak, Mish Neder Shafi, Khaled Daoud, Mohamed Diop, Mimi Guamer, Santiago Hernandez, Sam Jimenez, Juan Manuel Menez, Serge Anthony Ducion, Simic Pierre, as we had already mentioned, Sammy Pompe, Preston Rodriguez, Giovanni Aras, Cleverson, Giulia as well. John Adesheko, OSNER'S Football Club, coached by Christian Uriso. Played forward, intercepted in the middle third. Team in yellow. Drawing the infraction, give or take 5 yards in front of the halfway line. Drawing the set piece was Kyle McFarland, hails from Glasgow, Scotland. From the halfway line, a quick free kick, almost diagonally toward a nearby fullback. Trying to override was Ken and Tebo. Throw and taken. Yusuf Okine, the prime target, back-to-back throw-ins here for the visiting team. Lions of New York looking for a response of their own in this series. Currently winless in this affair. And we've had some stellar matches between these two, as this shot was well beyond the mark. It was never contested for Manuel Ledesma. The Colombian goalkeeper Medellin. As he waits an equipment change here for the goal kick itself. The first affair between these two ended in a scoreless stalemate, 0-0. As we had mentioned before, just 4 days ago, give or take, it ended 3-2 in favor of the Sharks. Back pass at the feet of Torsteinsen. Attacking along the left line. New York Shocker looking for the initial advantage. Marcello with a cross, dealt with by OSNER'S FC. Good defending the referee, signaling for play to go on. Viloria with the penultimate touch. OSNER, the opposition's half, eventually poked away by the New York Shocker defender, Seth Scarano. New York Shockers currently find themselves in third place with a record of 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 ties. Of course, that 1 win coming against OSNER'S in a home match in Albany, New York. Meanwhile, the Lions of New York, the locals, 1 win, 2 losses, the Shockers again in third place. The Lions of New York in 4th. Foul again. New York Shockers. using the width of the field, more or less, for a single switch is Pompey. All the way back. Asking for the pass to come in. Dio does have a Pompey left completely open. Instead, it's driven toward the center. And now, at the feet of Daniel Shannon, the University of Albany Great Dane, whose hometown is in fact New York City. So a slight homecoming of his, to say the least. That's Clay Wilson. Drives it toward the right-hand side. And solid defending, but eventually keeps it in bounds. OSNER'S looking for the initial advantage. Brilonia unable to pull the trigger. Good defending for now. Once more, OSNER'S letting that ball fly above the mark. Respect the ambition, but the execution not the best quality there. Admittedly, a tough technique to master. Halfway over. This is crunch time for these two North Atlantic teams who are actively hovering around the qualification in this conference of 5 teams. Only up to 3 get to prolong their dreams of ultimately obtaining conference, regional, and eventually national. This moment, third place New York Shockers have a 2-point upper hand against the fourth place OSNER'S football. With the win, can't override its visiting foe today in the standings. All through points. No room for scraps. As he finds a teammate in the middle third. Found that space. One of many. New York Shockers. And he's affectionately known as Big by his teammates. New York Shockers trying to draw the infraction, slight shove in the back. The referee allows play to go on. Now, flank currently exposed, feinting the first cross for a short pass, and it's a giveaway in favor of the local team. Quick passes, a through pass, well read, a little too obvious. It was intended for Misha Nedelchev. As Shockers continue utilizing the back line. In fact, for now, both back lines are using the highest number of touches in these initial 10 minutes. There's no foul. There was some Gloria. He's disappointed at the very end out of frustration. The referee wins it. And now New York Shockers inside the penalty area, looking for the opening score. Actually poked away a clean tackle, well timed. OSNER'S counter attack prohibited. The Lions are going to win the ball back. Back pass towards this one. This game broadcast has been brought to you by Salt Athletic. Salt Athletic has made the air most precious, most advanced feedback that helps you with antimicrobial technology. It makes and Salt Athletic is offering the game and training communities an exclusive discount. So scan the QR code on your screen to get 10% off and keep it fresh. And meanwhile, of course, make sure to follow game and training at Being Unfair for the latest in Northeast grassroots soccer. Biggie. The Shockers now funneled it back quickly. Lovely lob pass, cross, now toward the far post. Ball still in play. OSNER'S Corner kick. The Shockers keeping it alive. Early cross.
Hey,
Dealt with
oh.
another opportunity. Wide. Back on the corner. And this one blocking order to the defenders. Naturally, you can't grant any yellow jersey that amount of space within your own 18-yard box. You need to the last pick of the pass instead it goes to Navisma. He himself, the wearer of the captain's armband for Oslo. Rich history and connection with the Haitian culture here in the New York City vicinity. OSNER'S. Oh, he lobbed it over one. A sombrero flick. Left-footed shot toward the far post. The Lions of New York with the breakthrough. Lovely sombrero flick. And a fabulous finish. Utilizing the far post to his aid. An undeniable goal. Completing a fantastic piece of skill. 1-0 for OSNER'S Football Club. And that is certainly a way to
By the
open
way,
the scoreline here.
if you have a 4,
An undeniable goal. Scored by Luis Chapi. OSNER'S now with the advantage defending New York Shockers. One touch too many. Viloria with the interception. Viloria playing it toward a wide out Sinic Pierre. Pardon. Quick pass just outside the penalty area. A lot of touches. Shot blocked. Oh, not too far away, in fact. It required some last-second goalkeeper intervention. So we had thought an optical illusion that even the OSNER'S players are claiming. And I thought they had seen an extra touch from the players in yellow, more specifically from the player in pink. As did I, but apparently it's an optical illusion according to the refereeing staff. Dealt with by OSNER'S. The Lions looking for a follow-up after that inspirational goal. Booted forward. And that should be the goalkeeper's goal any day of the week. That one hopping toward his goal. Forced into shuffling backwards. I suppose it's technically a shot, albeit not one on target at the end. Pass down the middle diagonally. Accelerating, winning himself some space. McFarland. It's not a shocker, giving away the ball ultimately. Cleverson Viloria with the roulette turn. Viloria toward that left-hand side. OSNER'S Football Club looking for the second in this first half. Corner kick now for the Lions. Serge Anthony Lucien will be taking this set piece. Lucien looking for options. Readjusting this ball for the corner kick. Currently 4 orange jerseys inside the 18-yard box of its opponent. Could be 6. It is in fact 6. Crossed. Goalkeeper intervening. Headed forward. Ball rolls out of play for another corner kick. An excellent front line on display for now by the Lions. Hungry for more. Cross toward that first post. The goalkeeper unable to keep it in play. Swatting it away upon the first touch. It was swerving toward the upper corner of his near post. Unfortunately for him, he was unable to keep it in play. 3 consecutive corner kicks for OSNER'S. The Lions once more toward that near post, dealt with by the Shockers. Taking the first shot, gaining himself some space inside the penalty area, across, dealt with by the Shockers, though they're not out of harm's way yet. Viloria. And this is what you want to see from an offensive midfielder. Ravenous for more, ravenous for another set piece, though he must be satisfied for now with a throw. A mere yard or two away from the corner kick spot itself. Semi Pompe with the throwing. Affectionately known as Pompey as well, or Sam. Thrown inside the penalty area. It's a good throw. Dropped forward by Mimi. Back on the ball. Pompe. Pompe. Crossed and dealt with. Semi Pompe with another opportunity. Ball rolls out of play for another throw in. Possession. And so far within these initial 18 minutes, now that we've just 17 minutes, it really has been an OSNER'S game. OSNER from the left-hand side, looking for another cross. As he feints one way, goes the other, dropping the shoulder. Very nice and slight touches. Some delicate dribbling. Near Shocker. Can now retreat forward. Trying to keep it together. With the counterattack of their own, the New York Shockers. At the feet of Thorstensen. Away. Will be a throw. From a very tight angle.
ต้องไว้ไลฟ์ป่ะร้อง
Considering the
ไลฟ์
high line. New York Shockers must be careful to not give it away in this part of the field. 2-3 yards away from his own corner kick flag, taking a couple steps. Goes high. Sammy drawing the free kick, played quickly by Minodi. Mimi. Playing it toward Serge Anthony Lucien. Viloria. Toward the left wing, headed away. New York Shockers. Now with some much needed ball time. Jackson Neal.
ซิลคีย์เลยที่
Poked forward once
ไล
more
ฟ์แล้ว
ที่บาบ้อง
as Sheppy.
มัน
Sheppy
The screen
with a
of
lot
the-
of space, a lot of time, taking the shot. A lot of power.
แล้วมากินยูเอฟเอ
อ๋อมาโก้เฉลอยอย่างเงี้ย
รถน้อยรถ
Though he is letting the back line and the goalkeeper know that he's not afraid to take his chances, no matter how far. OSNER able to get the ball back. That would have been a lethal error from New York Shockers. Luckily for them, not much results from that. Throwing once more for the team in yellow, currently in the hands of Elias Eller. Launch forward, looking for that space on the right flank. Jackson Leon, once more the intended recipient. In the hands of Brandon Tevin. And eventually he draws the foul, having been clipped at the very end. Jackson Leon winning his side a free kick. That's practically on the touchline itself, if not a centimeter right in front of it. Standing over the ball is Elias Allen. Thomas Sams locating himself at the far post, maybe the target man as well. OSNER'S, in fact, giving Thomas Sams a little too much space. Fortunately for the Lions of New York, they did go off target. Goal kick taken quickly. Shockers. Elias Allen with the back pass. Osnail, the last two poke it out. Shockers. Beanie with some good defending. Back-to-back throw-ins here. You can see how Osnail is moving exactly like a unit. I argue every single yellow jersey right now is marking somebody. Nobody's excused inside the penalty area. Was Jackson Leon inside his Biggie looking for space. Early cross. Mimi and company defending well. Taking it away. Shockers. Once more. Unable to close it on target, but at least letting Ledesma know that they are present. Was the founder of this club, honoring his father with the name of this club. In other words, this club is named after his father. As the New York Shockers concede a desperate corner kick here. This should be corner kick number 4. Lucien stands over the sphere from the corner kick spot. Outward swinger toward that first post. Dealt with. Viloria. Volley. Blocked. Handball. No, says the referee. Hitting the underside of his bicep as well as his torso. The referee says no penalty. Otherwise, that volley would have been destined for the upper 90 of the far post. A good effort by Viloria, dealt with by the Shockers. And now the counterattack is on. Beautiful ball as well by Marcello Mitchell. And even better defending from OSNER'S FC. More specifically, Mohamed Diop. Yeah, with some great defending. Throw in for New York Shockers. Sets Scarano on throw-in duty. Lemoyne College Dolphin. Looking for a friendly yellow jersey inside the penalty area. This could be a corner kick. That's a go out of bounds instead. Back-to-back throw-ins. Launched forward. New York Shockers inside the 6-yard box. Still live. Lobbed forward. Lucien once more. Sombrero flick gone past. And not panicking was Thomas Sams, the goalkeeper. Likewise doing the same, but maybe it was a little too calm. Not too far away from the interception was Shahid. Kept in play. Back pass from Semi Pope. Yes. Guamer still on the ball, the skipper. Crossing into enemy territory. Normally playing as the sweeper, playing a much more offensive role here. The New York Shockers looking for a clean takeaway. Viloria delaying that. Viloria likewise claiming that he had gotten stamped. The referee indicating instead for a New York Shocker throw-in. More than 25 minutes have gone by, and it is still 1-0 for the local team here. They went from Brooklyn, or built from Brooklyn, playing in Queens. Eventually accompanied by Biggie. Daniel Shannon was ready to rush off his goal line. In fact, he already had done that. Willing to sweep or keep at the very end. Throw in. Lucien. Nifty dribbling. Referee indicating no foul. Marcelo Mitchell. And Lucian still down on the ground. As now the local spectators here are asking for a booking against New York Shockers. Of course, in this matchup, the capital of New York against the de facto capital of the world, New York City. Lucian still on the ground. I'm not sure I saw anything egregious from Marcelo Mitchell and company. The referee surely must now issue a drop ball. Lucian marching toward the touchline. We will now have to await the approval of the referee to re-enter the game. And depending on how long that is, it could be game 50. Miloria. Back pass. The safest option. Now at the feet of the goalkeeper Neves. Network from Medellin. Booting this one forward towards Chevy. Chevy. Ball bounced off his chest. Made its way into the final third. A risky challenge that ultimately results in no contact with the ball. Santiago Hernandez getting himself involved. Biggie with the final touch there before Justin Rodriguez takes it away. Rodriguez, who is playing in his home borough of Queens right now taking the throw in. Sammy's still on the ball. Back pass, a little too strong there. Here we go. One drop. Back to Ledesma. As one yellow jersey pressed, that yellow jersey belonging to Yusuf Okuda. Was labeled his own as Connected. Along the left wing it goes, Xavi. Xavi trying to use that fancy footwork that we had seen earlier on display. Unable to beat for now the number 5 of New York Shockers, Alejandro Perez Jordao. Who hails from El Genovés, Spain. Viloria. Another Colombian here in this squad for OSNER'S FC. Back pass to Ledesma. I can certainly say that OSNER'S is using the entire width of the field. We're not only talking about the wider ends, we're also talking about the length of the field. Constantly retreating to its final third, let alone its own penalty area, to suddenly make its way to the final third in just a blink of an eye. In this case, however, that tactic doesn't work. It's an interception for Elias Ellen and company. Elias Ellen with the back pass. Lateral play. Quick 1-2s. Biggie now on the ball. That lob from his teammate, Thomas Sands. OSNER'S. Likewise, La Force, Chevy unable to beat Alejandro Perez Jordao to the ball. Throw in, Lucian, who was last seen recovering from that slight injury scare. Chevy switching the play, using that available real estate. Sent bump it. Sammy evades one defender. Sammy going back for the one-on-one, stalling. Sammy maybe taking too much time and too many touches. Retreats. Mimi. Drawn. Cross. Goal! A lovely act of improvisation. Mish Neder Shari. Only one more for that type of header and that type of delivery. Incroyable. Incredible. What a goal that was. And also, overthinking at the end from Sammy Pompe. He thought he had taken too many touches, which in fact was true. But in doing that, he might have attracted that space, allowing
Maybe
for the
change no back at appeal.
Mohamed Diop to deliver that ball. Mohamed with a lovely assist.
YouTube là.
Yeah.
A clever
Bomb for
free
tapil.
assist, if you want to label that.
No method
To
ko to ya.
Pompey.
Just tapil let palette.
And the finish itself to Mish Neder Shabi.
Go up cup.
2-0. And suddenly, we're getting feelings of deja vu here, considering that OSNER'S FC had a 2-0 lead in that last game versus the New York Shockers. Again, it took until the final minutes of stoppage time. Again, beyond already regulations, the final minutes of stoppage time for New York Shockers to come back from that result from the 3-2 playoff. One could imagine the scenes in that moment in Albany, New York. Mohamed with the assist. The free assist belonged to Semi Pompey. And the goal again belonged to Mr. Shahi. 2-0. Fancy pass from Lucio. A chopping pass in reality of Gloria. Yusuf Okuno. So the latest assist for goal was the center back. Was willing to connect with Justin Rodriguez, but it's a giveaway. Shockers, the left leg completely exposed. Doing his job is Mohamed Diop. Delaying his opponent just enough so that his team could regroup. No clean opportunity there for Shockers. Right side. Thomas Sands, trusting Cannon. Back to Sands. He hails from England. And then this one could be tested here. So he has to get his header as well. Why for the selfless play, really, looking for the headed assist instead of knocking it toward goal. Back pass toward Mohamed. Mimi. Looking for that real estate, taking his time. Shot his ball. Infraction against Osno, who now has this 2-0 lead. Now that we have found ourselves with just about 10 minutes left in this first half.
Get a meet New York.
Launch forward, focus. Marcelo Mitchell. Biggie.
They will tap it back.
So Pompey making sure he's offside for that free kick. Great idea. A little too much pass.
Tale. Pace chato. Shockers.
Alejandro Perez Jordan. Going forward, Thomas Sams linking up with Jackson Leon. Jackson's passing. Another nice roulette turn. I believe that's the third we have seen in this match. Looks like that will be the skill move of the day, if not the sombrero flick.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's now New York Shockers
Actually, bon happen.
that controls the ball in the middle third. So, from OSNER'S FC. Not trying to fall for that bait. Oh! Launching that ball into Brooklyn.
Huh? Yeah, look.
Back up from that collision is Satsarana. Up that foot before the clearance itself. Iggy, dropping his shoulder, winning the space and winning the foul. To the back in the eyes of the referee. Viloria, in fact, continues to argue this case, thinking that the two had crashed shoulders. Referee says otherwise. Kick. Well, approximately 20 yards, down a little bit more, around 23 yards away from goal. New York Shockers. Looking to cut down that lead. Find ourselves in the final 9 minutes of this first half. Play. Wasting no time with the throw-in. Lucian, back heel flick. No panic from Ken. Back to Biggie. And now Semi pumping. As Mohamed Diop. And it's a risky giveaway. You can perhaps hear vocally his frustration there. A loud groan from the number 90. Idea trying to use the space available in the central part of the field. Nobody to accompany him in that pitch. Lucien decelerating for a moment, allowed the New York Shockers to win back the ball via a set-scoring tackle. Inside the penalty area, going for a shot. The first on target, launched by Yusuf Okine. One official shot on target. Justin his skipper with the ball. Taken away. Good dribble. Anyone on the pace and with the space. Here comes New York Shockers. Launching it. Blocked. As the referee receives some complaints from the New York Shockers down on the ground. Helping up his opponent. You see the last two shots. One of them went on target. The other one was immediately blocked by a trio of New York Lions. On the deal. Back to the end. Mohamed with a lot of space to work with. Mohamed out dribbling one. Rodriguez. Fancy roll backwards. Mohamed, who has one assist to his name, looking for a second, maybe another goal contribution, in fact. Veers wide. Wasn't really clear if he was going for a cross or a shot from an incredibly tight angle. Either or, it doesn't affect the scoreboard. It's still 2-0. New York Shockers to restart from this goal kick. Once again, that zonal marking on display. Lucien using his stamina as well as speed, catching up to the dribbler, in fact. Lord Thomas Sands got it out just in time. So one would think, OSNER'S with the quick recovery. Lucien to Viloria. Viloria. Toward Nini. Mohamed Diop.
Back to Neme.
Semi pumping. With nobody immediately pressing him, he picks his target in the form of Sharif, who was responsible for that last goal, utilizing his head. Really a play that was drawn up by Semi Pompe. Just when everyone thought that he had taken too many touches, which in reality, again, was the truth. With a great act of improvisation, attracting the defenders like flies to honey, he granted that space to Mohamed Dial to serve the delivery. A delivery that, of course, connected again with the skull of Shari. Blocked by OSNER, as Shari was offside. Final 3.5 minutes here in this first half. Only one shot on target for now from Shockers. So again, a 2-goal deficit. It's nothing unfamiliar with New York Shockers. Well, that's a high kicking infraction that connected with the toes of his opponent, elevating those cleats. We'll grant you a yellow card, regardless if you make contact. Depends the referee you're with, but he's clearly stern in that case. Rodriguez with the yellow card, for having connected his studs with the toes of his opponent. Seth Scarron. Opening up for the pass. He has 3 lines surrounding him. Getting the cross off as well. Throw. Here in this first half. A little too tight. That's going on with the throw. Set. Connecting with Yusuf Martinez's chest. Yusuf. Found his yellow jersey in the top of but his first touch, a little too strong. Left for the back line to recover with the clearance. Final 2 minutes here in this first half. That's excluding stoppage time. Into the enemy half he goes. Finding that space. Jackson Leon. Put it away again. That makes its way into the stands here. It's St. John's University, Belson Stadium venue. As Shannon, goalkeeper in pink and black, plays it toward Thomas Sams. Thomas Sams. Along the right wing it goes. Could be a foul, is a foul. Once more, a charge of the shoulder to the back of his opponent. Can't argue against those. Drawing the set piece in the first place was Kenny Tebble. And this could be a yellow card for gamesmanship. It is a yellow card for that. For having blocked the free kick, for sending way too close. That's a booking against Serge Anthony Lucien. Serge Anthony Lucien, alongside Rodriguez, both go down in the books with the yellow card. Frost inside the penalty area, he's offside. Not by much. Jesus, I forgot. He immediately raised that flag. OSNER'S eager to welcome that halftime whistle with this 2-0 advantage. And that is not. Takes his time as we are now officially in stoppage time in this first half. Referee will at most add a minute. A sliding shot that connects only with the ball, slowing down the opponent. Musical Phoebe. Escorting the ball. And somehow Yusuf kept it in bounds, poking it away from him. Throw. Launched forward, and it's a good throw in. That gained about 15 yards. Chevy using the outside part of his foot Lucien, Chéri, with Pierre. And Silnik Pierre. Silnik unable to keep it in bounds. New York Shockers. Now that 1 minute of stoppage time has gone by, we are in the second. A collision for the ball results in a free kick. That could be the third yellow here against OSNER'S FC. And it's a yellow card at the end against Santiago Hernandez. Now this referee isn't messing around. 3 yellow cards in this first half. All against OSNER'S FC. Looking for a go-around dribble. Instead, defending well. Doing a defensive jump. It's a corner kick for New York Shockers. We are in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. One on raised. Out with by Silnik Pierre. Still headed. Made its way into the penalty area for a moment. And that clearance from OSNER'S FC was the final touch of the ball in this first half. And after 1 period,
Comment?
NPSL action, scoreboard reads OSNER'S FC 2, New York Shockers.
J'ai toujours marqué mes
Stay with us
11
as we
mai.
present the plays of the week, messages from our sponsors, halftime analysis, and of course, the second half. This is the National Premier Soccer League on Game in Frame.
Uzi. Ok.
Yeah, 11 mai, j'ai toujours marqué tout.
Oh, John.
Oh my gosh, I think it was Chevy, but I wasn't sure.
Ah, ok, marqué.
Já greve.
Et après, probable.
Já fez.
It's not good.
Shockers. Patinage.
Definitely.
New York.
Patinage. Nu 29 met
Oh.
Pretty fast. It's a lot faster than I thought. Let's see if I could. What the S?
A equipe está encore.
SO, Shockers.
Oh, Shockers.
I'm sorry. Do you guys know who scored the first goal?
First one. Clearly.
Miss Snyder?
It was Chevy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Chevy. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Miss Schneider.
It was.
Thank you.
Parfait, merci. C'est un peu difficile pour battre les camps, les champs.
Dernier coup de
nobody. So it's a waste of possession to start off things. Though perhaps the Shocker strategy here is to keep the opponent on the back foot even when they do have the ball. We'll see whether New York Shockers responds with a high press of its own. Defensively speaking, for now, OSNER'S Football Club has really controlled the game with its zonal marking, let alone with its tempo control in the middle third. As Cannon on the ball, drawing the foul. Now, in his first seconds in this game, committing the sin. Otherwise, nothing has changed here. Still a pleasant evening for soccer. 63 degrees Fahrenheit. With winds of only 4 miles per hour, gusts to 10. A very far cry from yesterday that saw 37 mile per hour gusts and close to 20 mile per hour winds. A mini hurricane by New York City standards. Of course, nothing like the Chicago weather, which constantly sees winds. New York Shockers recovering the ball. In the middle third, clever little flick by Kyle McClellan. And maybe yet time to think about it. Thomas Sams for the somewhat conservative choice of clearing it toward the boundary. Now in possession. A team with rich Haitian history. It's with Shahid. Shahid, the author of the 2 goals, looking for the third. A little too hungry and a little too ambitious. That's a shot that Daniel Shannon would like every single day of the week. Shannon now with the goal kick, telling all his teammates in yellow to move farther up in the field. We had discussed at halftime the keys to the game. OSNER'S FC's to hold up the tempo with its aggressiveness, as well as ball playing style in the middle third, as now the center backs are caught out of position. New York Shockers taking its time inside the penalty area. Too much time. Mohamed Diaw with some solid defending at the end. Never fell for the bait. Forcing the attacker into stalling himself. Meanwhile, the keys to the game for New York Shockers really revolved around catching or forcing Mimi Duhamel, as well as Mohamed Diaw out of position. Just as we had seen right now, Bumpin was a little too aggressive with his positioning, allowing for a lot of space for New York Shockers. And in the process, that forced Mohamed Diaw into an uncomfortable spot, but instead of pulling the trigger right away, took a little bit too much time. Daoud. To himself. Skipper for OSNER'S FC. You got a piece of the ball just enough to slow him down. That's Owen Brandt. Rodriguez. Dribbling around 2 opponents. Just a pause and turn. Rodriguez was tightly marked by Seth Serrano. Viloria, who has arguably been the heartbeat of the midfield, playing a box-to-box role and being responsible for some shots created, as well as some defensive highlights being brought to light. There's Anthony Lucio. Lobbing backwards pass to Mohamed Diaw. Mohamed from about 40 yards away. Maybe even a little bit more. That was just inches wide. Any closer and it would have scraped the exterior of the near post. That's not something you get to see every day here. Let alone in the NPSL. Solid goal kick. Rodriguez. with the high press. It looks like Coach Turizo has implemented a defensive tactical change here. We're not seeing too much zone marking anymore. It's a lot of high press, a lot less low press. That's Khalid Daoud with a clever flick. Connecting with Anthony Rousseau was looking for that assist. Unfortunately for him, he was offside. As now, Mimi Douamel and Mohamed Diaw out of position just a little bit. Shockers, once again taking just a little too much time. They do win themselves the corner kick though. We talked about faster decision making. In those nanoseconds, Mohamed and Mimi could be put out of position. The two big M's for now for OSNER'S Football Club. Speaking of Mohamed Diaw, with a clearance of his own, that hops out of bounds. Out of bounds, I should say. I think for a throw-in, it's really close. One unlucky lion touch can result in a corner kick. Kyle McFarland with a Cruyff turn, lobbing it forward. Unfortunate because that was some great creativity beating his marker. Ledesma with the goal kick. Despite the drought of shots on target, one cannot say that New York Shockers hasn't attempted a goal itself. Good number of shots have gone off target for the visitors from upstate New York. In fact, from the capital of New York, Albany. Good plays, quick passes, interchanging possession, lobbed, dealt with by Mohamed Diaw. Shahi, it's a 13-on-13 battle. Shahi won the aerial duel against his marker, lobbed, Ledesma dealing with it with his gloves. Rolled out wide. Mohamed Diaw. From one big center back to another. In fact, the two center halves reconnecting again. Dangerous pass. Gloria, well positioned enough. Kyle McFarland with some aggressive defending. In fact, not too far away from taking the ball from Ledesma. Ball kept alive, kept in play, of course, by Juan Catano. Who likewise is playing in his home group of Queens. Serge Anthony Lucian, unable to get there first. Looking for Serge. Suffering from that foul, really late to the party, was Kevin Tebo. That could be a booking, as the referee wants to pause things here. Oh, and it's a case of mistaken identity. He's taking away the yellow card from the booked Owen Brent. So Owen Brent has no yellow card for the correction there from the referee. The yellow card belongs to Kevin Tebo. He even shares a smile with his teammate and the referee. Lucian. High kicking infraction against the number 21 of OSNER'S. Looking for its first win at home. Which would also be its second overall victory of this campaign. Another infraction against OSNER'S. The electric upstaters. For this match, had set their sights on a win to potentially overtake first place, and of course qualify as a result for the postseason for a fifth straight time. Two-goal deficit. Shockers may be looking for any value of points here, even if it's via a draw. Shockers in the final third, using the widths of the field, dribbling with the right foot, one step over, beats one, doesn't beat Semi-bumper, however. Throwing for the team in yellow. Meanwhile, the Lions of New York, now that we are halfway through the regular season of the NPSL in this conference, is looking for that win to disrupt the pecking order and perhaps even punch its ticket eventually to the playoffs in its debut campaign. Dangerous pass, Lucien unable to race to the ball first. Daniel Shannon exiting the 6-yard box. Kyle McFarlane, who has been a much repeated name here in the second half. Yusuf Okina dispossessed by Mimi Duame. Backtracking alongside several defenders. Turning it away is Katana. Pressing for now, unlike Biloria, who already has a yellow card. Going to go into that challenge. A lot of space, bumping. Can escort it out of bounds. One of 3 Lions of New York to get a yellow card in that first half. Yusuf pressing the center back. It's now with the captain of OSNER'S. Down the middle, taken away. What's it called against New York Shockers? 2-point artist. It's a bit of a surprise even for me. Even though there was no doubt he had made contact with the player, it was after he had gotten the ball first. At least from this angle. Not to mention that it never appeared to have been a studs up challenge. It looked like a clean tackle. Some unfortunate free kick in favor of OSNER'S FC. That stalls the inertia for the away team. Biloria. With this free kick that's about 2 yards behind the halfway line. Biloria. Into the air it goes. Here it comes to one by Juan Catano. One. Need to keep it now. It's a goal kick for New York Shockers. Daniel Shannon. Big goal kick with a 0-0 on his jersey. Again, he knows how to pinpoint those goal kicks. Aggressive line of 3. Shannon. Yet again, with some solid accuracy. And the first yellow card in this second half belongs to Yusuf Okine, number 7 of New York Shockers. And now the training center has been asked to take a look at that OSNER'S player. He's still down on the ground. Yusuf Okine still letting be known his frustrations with the referee. Mohamed Diao drawing the yellow card in the first place, picking himself right back up. And per the discretion of the referee, he's fit enough to play, so he won't be going toward the touchline. Biloria with, yet again, a free kick from 2 yards behind the halfway line. Biloria instead allows Mohamed Diao to take it. The driven lobbed pass. Shannon collecting the ball inside his own 18-yard box. Rodriguez able to touch the ball first. Luckily for him, he has Juan Catano to help him out. Going forward, dealt with by the Lions. To New York. Still defending. Reloading. Finds Shari with a very slight touch, doing just enough to beat his closest marker. It almost turned into a fruitful pass. And Hernandez alongside Rodriguez. Closely watch the ball handler. Dawood doing the same. Kenan Tebo. Recovering that loose ball from McFarland. Dawood doing well to stick with it as Shannon. Have the improved control. There's a lion down on the ground. As now once more the coaching or training staff being asked to take a look at this player. It appears to be for the second time in this game. Who, just like many other teammates of his, has had experience playing with Real Hope Football Academy in Haiti. Anthony Russo. Back on his own 2 feet, the referee to issue a drop ball, which should belong to Shannon and co. Now with the sphere, rolling it out, wasting no time. We are past the hour mark. No goal in the second half so far. The New York Shockers have arguably improved in terms of possession in the second half so far. A good sign of improvement and life from the team in yellow, though they must make sure to not concede here. Lovely switch play from Shannon to Lucien. Cross, Shannon, got a pull.
Come on!
Unable to pull the trigger in time. Shannon got a hand to it at first, colliding with the team and opponent subsequently. These lightning fast counters can really catch Shockers off guard. Not something we had seen too often in that first half, but again, now that Shockers has had better possession in the second half, it's something that OSNER'S will have to consider. Corner kick. Was never going to gain a lot of distance. Mohamed Diao. Crossed. Dealt with for now by Devil. Ball still in play. Catano. Catano scanning over his left shoulder. Pushing toward that left-hand side. Dawood. The good idea toward Rodriguez. Shot from outside the 18-yard box. Back-to-back corner kicks for the home team. Santiago Hernandez for OSNER'S Football Club to get a touch. An outward swinger. Put into service toward the far post. Somehow connected with his chest, although was unable to keep it in his possession. Shannon dispossessed Dawood. Both picking the pocket of McFarland. In fact, he has his teammate to do that. Dawood, Shari, hat-trick, blocked. Shot from behind the referee. Deems it clean.
Papi, no há. Tá preso
The
na
doors of the local press.
charge. Charge.
Never committing to the high kicking. Bump it. Connecting with Hernandez. Back to Bump it. Sammy on the right play. Sammy. When the first half got himself a pre-assist if you're a fan of that stat. Dangerous giveaway. Yusuf Okine couldn't do much with the ball at his feet. Maybe a little too strong for him. Signaling for play to go on. Tano. Left-footed pass toward Anthony Lucio. Ini Duamel. Duamel back to Catano. Catano returns the ball to his captain. Captain Daoud. Clever flick by Shabir, making it look so easy. Daoud taking up that space. In the final third it goes. Great idea as well. But nobody wanted to go after the ball at the very end. This crowd is just eating it up. Pressing with Lucian. Long gone for now are the days of zonal marking for OSNER'S football. Yusuf Okine, not willing to commit the foul instead. Mimi retreats. On the left-hand side, it goes. Shockers inside the penalty area with enough space and enough time. Goes wide. Good idea. The execution not there, but the instincts were. Not the first time that we've seen New York Shockers get those sorts of chances, but eventually, if they continue finding those sorts of opportunities, one of them is bound to hit the back of the net. At least one would imagine that. Too much foul, although the referee signals advantage. Shaggy entering the penalty area. Although Rodriguez is on the ball. Rodriguez, one step over, two step overs. Pausing, decelerating, crossed. To Shaggy, another chance. Aim to Shaggy, if not Daoud. Neither of them to the ball. Mimi. Mimi does have help in the form of Mohamed Diao. Back to Mimi it goes. Yeah. As practically every defensive player in this team is getting a piece of the ball, down to the goalkeeper. Asking for the pass. Toward Daoud. Daoud standing over his right shoulder. Playing it. Back to Bumping. Bumping. Puts this ball into the air. Thomas Sams with no competition is able to connect his pass, fortunately for him. And Seth Carano draws the foul. A little bit rash. Brash from Serge Anthony Lucian. A little over 20 minutes remain. As approaching the sideline is Elias Ellen. Substitutions occur. As Wood Apollo makes his appearance. Lob, Mohamed Diao has to win that aerial duel. He does just enough to do so. So it's a corner kick for New York Shockers, who have done everything right in terms of creation, in terms of engineering opportunities, but have yet to find that culmination of goal. Frost toward the far post. New York Shockers denied by one hand. Ledesma with his second save of the match. That's perhaps the best opportunity from New York Shockers. Solid cross, solid header, solid goalkeeping. One arm raised, inward swinger, soaring toward the far post again. A collision results in an OSNER'S free kick. Ini Duamel. Not taking the free kick, instead that belongs to Ledesma, the Colombian goalkeeper. We are within the final 20 minutes here. The Medellin guardian between the posts, who just moments ago registered his second save in this match. Free kick that approaches the final third, though it's dealt with by New York Shockers. Rodriguez flicking it over one opponent, keeping it in play, but giving it away as well. Imi Duame. Recover. And then no. No. Very good composure from Ozzy. Shahid. No. Maybe not anticipating that pass. Process.
Le match fini. Le match fini, le TT pour quelque chose.
Oh.
That will take this time, given that there are substitutions in effect. More specifically, it's out Antonin Lucian is replaced. As we'll shortly confirm who has entered. Head coach Christian Turizo sees it fit. Giovanni enters the game. Into chasing down the ball for his opponent. Final 18 minutes. Yusuf Okina being told to move farther back. Katana. Dispossessed. Clean challenge. Yusuf Okine. Playing it toward one of the latest entries in this game, Hood Apollon. It's now on the left wing. New York Shockers driving forward. Good defending by Pope. Never losing the duel to Owen Brandt. Clean challenge, shoulder to shoulder, won by OSNER'S. Switch play, ball still alive, and Giovanni Terras with some fresh legs, using his speed, using his endurance as well. Terras. Now McFarland, likewise, complaining toward the referee that Terras had touched the pass. McFarland with the ball at his feet. Shockers. A lovely pass. That's a yellow for sure. Not sure he got a piece of the ball, but even then, hard to do that from any refereeing angle. A sliding challenge from behind. More times often than not, it results in a yellow card. It was a desperate challenge to slow down the Shockers. A very desperate stop to halt Owen Brandt specifically. The scoreboard hasn't changed since the first half. Yellow card for Semi Pomp. And a line here had signaled for a substitution for Pompe, which could change some strategies here, considering that Semi Pompe likewise plays a back and forth role on his extremity of the field. Responsible for the pre-assist to the second goal. Pompe was really in charge of keeping plays alive in the final third. Owen Brandt's already on his feet, taking a sip of water. In this momentary pause for now. Pope, with the help of the training staff, is on his own 2 feet.
Yeah, matchday ticket.
For now, he sees the touchline. One OSNER Lion is getting himself ready. It is a free kick, of course, for New York Shockers. And this should be a free kick from, give or take, 39 yards away from the goal. There is a substitution in effect, so bump it for now. As is curtain call. Service. Toward the first post, inside the 18-yard box. A contest for the ball in the air that's ultimately won by Ledesma versus Apollon. Sam Jimenez has entered for Pompey. Ledesma toward Daoud. New York Shockers. Likewise, another sign of improvement considering that OSNER'S had largely controlled the rhythm in the air. Not only winning aerial duels, but even if losing them, committing fouls to cease any momentum for the opposition. Corner kick for New York Shockers. In the second half, again, exclusively in the second half, have led the game in set pieces. Cannon, one armed raised, right-footed delivery, far post, tested, not for now. Scarano, follow-up cross, Ledesma, got two fists to it. Devil, Cannon, let it fly. But at the end, it's off target. It hit the outside part of his shoe. And there's another lion down on the ground holding his head. Though he insists to the referee that he's fit enough to continue. Just a momentary knock. And that certainly would have been a scary injury had it been worse. It was Mohamed Diallo was holding his head. Alongside Mimi Guaven is arguing his case for perhaps a de facto man of the match award here. It will be hard to deny Shelly of that, considering that he has scored two goals for now. Yusuf Okine finding Cannon with the available space. Back-to-back throw-ins here. New York Shockers with Kyle McFarland. Yusuf Okine, an aggressive throw-in. Mimi defending with his shoulder. Daoud, right-footed control, right-footed pass. Almost a giveaway. Giovanni Tegas. Too far behind. New York City in this game. Destin Albany. This is the third contest between these two teams, according to the NPSL. First one ended scoreless. The second one ended in a 3-2 victory for Shockers. Degas contesting for the ball. Never got to it in time. Yusuf Okine likewise never made contact, as Cannon Tevo plays it backwards. Alejandro Perez Jordan. New York Shockers. Arguably the opposition's turn. Just looking for that opportunity at goal. Nearly a deadly deflection. Ledesma read it all the way through. It was veering off target. I don't believe that will be registered as a shot on target. Ledesma punting this one away. Daoud losing the aerial duel. Not calculating the trajectory of the ball correctly. Brandt. Good piece of control. Wins the corner kick at the end. Final 10 minutes here. The first home victory here in its young NPSL history for OSNER'S Football Club in sight, as there is a yellow card for gamesmanship. Silly yellow card there. A yellow card against a substitute, in fact, Sam Jimenez. One arm raised, corner kick. All the prior ones have gone to the far post. This one toward the first post. A shot blocked! That one was destined for the back of the net. A lot of velocity. Another shot blocked. Throwing inside the penalty area. Looking for something acrobatic. Hello! Still far away, but you have to admire the ambition and the effort. You might as well go for it. Final 10 minutes here. Oh, reality, final 9 minutes. He wasn't necessarily looking for the limelight. We're just looking for any sort of shot, any sort of way to test Ledesma. Javi. Headed pass toward Daoud. Daoud. Pass out wide. Back to Daoud. Inside the penalty area. He's onside. Faking the first shot. Now cross. Dealt with. Sam Jimenez taking his time. Jimenez. With Rodriguez. Jimenez evades one challenge. Able to dodge the second. Rodriguez likewise surrounded by that duo. As we have now approached the 83rd minute here, officially past the 82nd. Reloading. From in. No. Left footed long. Applied some pressure. McFarland got a piece of it with his head. Reloading. From Colombia to Colombian. Ledesma, the goalkeeper. Returning the kick, putting his ball right back up into the air. Not forward. Daoud using his acceleration. Daoud inside the 18-yard box. Daniel Shannon. Some good goalkeeping. A follow touch too strong from Daoud. And that ball is somehow still in play. Easy interception in favor of OSNER'S Football Club. Ahmed Diop. An attempted lob that never made its way onto the field. It was practically a clearance. Final 6.5 minutes. Consecutive throw-ins for the team in yellow. New York Shockers. Looking to shrink down that deficit. And perhaps we can find an equalizer here. Any sort of point would be greatly appreciated. Shockers themselves have bagged 4 points in this series versus OSNER'S FC. Be a 1 tie and 1 win, of course. Ledesma with a basket catch. Telling his teammates to move up. Ledesma. That's a dagger pun in reality. A sidewinder, Relodia. A desperate lateral poke. Kyle McFarland. McFarland. Very shifty with the ball at his feet. Lucy Okine. Early cross. Intervening just in time is the number 6 for OSNER'S Football Club, Belson Stadium. Cross, New York Shockers inside the 6-yard box. Ledesma once more with some proactive goalkeeping. Final 5 minutes here. The referee telling this one, hurry up. I'm relentless with that. I'm afraid of just blowing the whistle for an indirect free kick. All levels of soccer. McFarland with the throw-in. Toward Debo. McFarland bouncing off the bit of Viloria. Alejandro Perez Jorda. Alejandro Perez Jorda! In reality, it was a driven through pass. It looked like a shot at first.
Ekip la lache bay.
Ye
I'm not sure he ever looked out to take a look at the goal itself. He was eyeing more Apollon, not Yusuf Okine. As now Viloria holds on to his face. He did block a pass earlier. Using his face at point blank range. The Shockers outnumbering OSNER'S Football Club when it comes to the corner kick statistics. Crossed by Debo, far post, cleared up by Viloria. Viloria, to Daoud, defending. Apollon with a shot, wide. Free kick. New York Shockers with a free kick from about 24 yards away from goal. The referee allowed for advantage to ensue. Good arbitration there, but he did notice a handball. It's a 24-yard set piece, give or take. New York Shockers with one goal here in these final, now 3 minutes, according to the big scoreboard here in Queens, New York. Could shift the balance despite being down in the scoreboard. And they were able to surmount a 2-goal deficit versus OSNER'S Football Club just a handful of days ago to snatch that 3-2 victory right from the jaws of the Lions. Kyle McFarland stands over the ball alongside Thomas Sands. All we know for sure is that a UK set-piece taker will be kicking this ball. It's McFarland, Ledesma recovering it. Save once more. New York Shockers!
Everybody's scoring.
Capitalizing on the Ledesma rebound. Game on! 2-1 in the 8th minute. It's all about psychology now. Only one goal separates the two teams. As the Lions are claiming that an infraction had occurred inside the 18-yard box.
Monsieur va un carton jaune déjà l'a joué rapide.
Mobilizing two passionate
Yes, Mimi.
Non, maman.
alongside Mimi Duhamel. It looks like Mimi Duhamel. See the yellow. And he rolls back to the post. Duhamel. Being shielded away by his teammate Santiago Hernandez from saying
Regarde, c'est pas vu là 10 fois.
the local spectators are claiming the mental element of this game. Shaggy drives the restart of this game straight toward goal. I would count that as a so Kyle caused enough chaos with his free kick from 25 yards out to force the Ledesma rebound. OSNER'S Football Club. In the final minute of regulation time, sliding tackle from behind. That looks like the Lions. Gets only the ball. Ledesma being forced by Apollon picking up the ball.
Ma punya nada do babezão. Anda.
No.
Ledesma. McFarland, someone responsible for that goal for New York Shockers, draws the infraction. Oh, it's taken quickly, wasting no time. We're not going to set piece otherwise from about 35 yards, if not a little bit less. New York Shockers using speed, maybe even a little bit too fast for their own good. It's a goal kick for OSNER'S Football Club. And we are, in fact, in stoppage time. Let's see how much stoppage time has been aggravated here. No clear signal for now from the lead referee, nor from the assistant. No confirmation, but if I had to guess, I would assume 3 minutes. This man. Duck backwards. Now, OSNER'S Football Club to seal the deal, unable to do so. Thomas Sand. Matters from getting worse. FC controlled that first half with possession in the middle there. In the second half, however, it's been a Shockers game. Lucy Fokine heading the ball toward goal scorer, or in fact, race scorer Shari inside the penalty area, looking for the hat trick perhaps, blocked by Sands. With only 3 orange jerseys inside the penalty area. All about time management and ball control. Viloria. That corner kick live. All he has to do is burn time. Viloria pokes it toward Rodriguez. That's a sliding challenge from should be a free kick. That's a relevant step. Part of the other was San Jimenez, who also got a yellow card earlier. Diao. 3 away. A loud second half from New York Shockers. Apollon inside the 18-yard box. Yusuf Okine able to connect. Apollon once more. Trying to find that space. Back pass. Using the field, Sams. We're beyond the 3rd minute of stoppage time, and Mohamed Diao finally picks up for that volume clearance. And that shoulder using charge. That has to be careful, he could be booked here if he were to impede with that free kick so close. Shockers forcing the Lions onto their back foot. And something tells me that in this young history of OSNER'S FC, we're seeing a rivalry build up. Early cross, he's all alone, and there's not! Oh, it's a goal! He's not able to touch it! Goal! An undeniable comeback! Shockers once more using the stoppage time itself! Unbelievable! An equalizer in the dying seconds. 2 matches in a row. The New York Shockers have done this. Just when it looked like it was in the grasp of Ledesma. Just barely slipping past him. Unable to get a glove to it. A well-placed header. A well-placed goal. 2-2. Snatching 3 points away from OSNER'S FC. Scintillating. A fabulous goal by New York Shockers. That last second deflection. Just when it looked like it was about to reach Ledesma, bouncing off the turf so perfectly. As now, OSNER'S Football Club inside the penalty area. Shaggy looking for the game-winning assist. Perhaps just a little too behind. Using the back heel, goal scorer himself, showing some class. Love for how much stoppage time is left is the big question on everybody's mind, as we are about to approach the completion of the 5th minute of stoppage time. We are surely witnessing some of the final kicks here. And assuming this result stands, despite it being just a draw, it would be a painful result for OSNER'S. Chance, Shaggy, Tagas, no, Houston Rodriguez, good defending by Shockers. What a massive improvement in the second half. McFarland looking for all 3 points. Good for no. Back to McFarland. Yusuf, Okine, Apollo, outside the penalty area. Oh! Very close. Almost the game winner. That could have been 3. With just a little more luck, that could have been 3. Advantage for Yusuf, Okine, and company. Yusuf, Okine, that's a foul. And a yellow card against Catano. Catano, quite late to the party. Another sliding tackle from behind. New York Shockers really controlling the psychological element of this game. You can't say that we didn't warn you in the pregame that this would come down to the wire. New York Shockers forcing the lines onto their back foot again. Devil crossed, blocked. 7th minute of stoppage time. And that will be the final kick of the ball. A scintillating match here in the NPSL. Shaggy scored the opening goals in the first half. The first one following a sombrero flick. Only to follow up that act with a first-class, powerful header. And of course, the home side did control the tempo in the first 45 minutes. But suddenly, in that second period of play, New York Shockers gave, in fact, a shock to the home side, electrifying themselves back to life, and deservedly so. You can't say that they didn't earn those 2 goals, constantly fighting and clawing their way toward the final third. It was eventually a matter of time, and in the 88th minute, New York Shockers found the 2-1 result after a chaotic rebound from a Kyle McFarland free kick. Again, that free kick caused a rebound after this one. His second goal, likewise, scored in stoppage time. In other words, finding the nickel for every try, New York Shockers scored a stoppage time goal against OSNER'S FC in this season. I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it is interesting that it happened twice. It was a header that found the bottom corner just when it looked like it was in the grasp, in the reach of Ledesma. All it took was not only good placement, but maybe just a pinch of luck. And it bounced right over his glove. A downwards header into the back of the net, into the bottom corner. A well-deserved draw for New York Shockers. And a somewhat painful tie for OSNER'S FC. So for OSNER, it for now remains in 4th place with the current standings, as we know for now. New York Shockers now has a record of 1 win, 1 loss, and 4 ties, which, if we bring live to the standings, of course, would increase its tally of points to precisely 7. You know, it all depends on goal differential as well. Because for now, New Haven United FC would still hold on to 2nd place. Meanwhile, OSNER'S FC now has 5 points due to this tie, though it will remain for now in 4th place, again with the current results that we have at this moment in the NPSL. Likewise, speaking of OSNER'S Football Club, the local team today now has a record of 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 ties. Tale of 2 halves OSNER'S FC finding the net twice in the first half of the first half. Meanwhile, New York Shockers finding 2 goals in the second half of the second half. 2 mirror images of one another. And these two treated us to a sensational game of NPSL soccer. Again, the final scoreline here is 2-2 between OSNER'S Football Club and New York Shockers. Behind the camera has been Jorge Espinosa. I have been Sean Cabrera. And this has been the National Premier Soccer League on Game in Frame. Thank you, everybody.